We're back again, this time with yet another talented person from the new hit. That's right, I said hit. Show, truTV, LaffTracks. Shout out to the whole Laugh Mob. This young lady is a fantastic rising comedian. If you're in the Los Angeles area and beyond, you've probably seen her rocking the major clubs, all the stages, all that good stuff. She is an actress, and you can see her on multiple episodes of LaffTracks. So we want to bring her in to chop it up about comedy, the show, and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, reviewers all over the world, please help us welcome the one and only Jonnae Thompson. What's up? How are you? What's happening?
Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, is he gonna say my name? Or like he's saying so much?
No, I'm the intro. I laid up.
I gotta give it to you.
You know what I'm saying?
Then you wise.
We out here.
He's the
not
intro
a game.
king.
You know what I mean? She wore her finest mink vest. You know what I mean?
Right? Out here.
He'll be hosting The Price is Right one day. That's
okay.
Yeah,
Bob Barker, Mike.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Pow.
We
out here.
Line frame, you know what I'm saying?
We out here.
Yeah, it's real.
Yes. So she was kind enough to join us. Once again, shout out to friend of the show. If you'd ask him, he'd tell you he's my agent, One Tech Homes. Big behind the scenes. He was on the first edition of the LaffTracks takeover. So we wanted to bring yet some more talent to chop it up. But first and foremost, we'll get to a little bit what we call a little bio talk.
All right.
For the people out there, the reviewers out there who may have not seen you rock the stage as of yet, or on TV or otherwise. Give them the quick little skinny on who is Miss Thompson. What are you doing out here in these comedy streets? Talk to the people, please.
So here we go. So I am a stand-up comedian, but in addition to that, I'm also a vocalist, writer, actress. Do some directing, some show production.
Check.
So yeah, it's been beautiful to be able to just have all these creative feelings and things and ideas and come to a city like LA and meet people every day and every moment who are like, let's do it, let's go.
Right.
Even if they don't always show up, it's just so good, you know?
Yeah. The art of the flake, you know what I'm saying?
Half of them fakers, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
Fakers and takers. That's all
We out here.
Oh yeah, we made it happen.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Schedule was popping.
Right?
do
I was
it.
a little 6 minutes late, but that's because we didn't have a partner. But hey,
Fashionably with a capital S.
That's right.
So you're moving and grooving.
Moving and grooving.
Yep.
It's the 10th year mark, so it's feeling good.
10 years of stand-up?
10 years.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
That's
so
crazy.
I started when I was very young. Started right at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room where I'm now and hosting.
In the jungle.
So full circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wolves.
Right? So
360 degrees right
there.
there.
We go, right? You catch me at Crack 'em Up Thursdays.
Hey, shots in the show.
Been running there 14 years now. I haven't been there 14 years, but the show is...
Yeah, that's a long-standing show, man.
That's crazy.
What else? Just recently got signed to basically a cruise line, so I'll be doing Yogi.
That's a good gig.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm excited about it. It's not
there.
corny to me. I'm looking forward to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys.
Right.
But we're sequence every night.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Cigarette in one hand, drink in the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3 weeks
Hit him with some
and a
one-liners.
passport.
Yeah, straight up.
Right.
Hit him with some one-liners.
How do you do on boats? Are you alright? You get
That's the thing. I go hard or go home. I don't even know how I do on boats. Don't they have like
The thing
some
about
stuff?
the boat is so that you ever been on a cruise ship?
I have been.
The damn thing is so big, you don't feel
That's
nothing.
true.
You know
I've
what I'm
been on
saying?
short ones for like an hour that goes around like the marina. But
These big
I've been
signs.
crab fishing up in the Bay Area, and let me tell you something. That captain was whipping that bitch like a goddamn jet ski. I was like, "Sir, please." He was. So that's kind of the visual I had of the boat. So I'm like, "You about to do comedy in a boat?"
It's like a Maybach. It's like the Maybach of a boat, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel nothing.
They got like amusement parks and shit at this point.
real
Carnival
shit.
Cruise
Now,
Line and all that.
They have
When
a
you go to the
whole
top,
water park.
you look over the edge.
They got Broadway shows on this cruise.
Yeah.
It's lit. Like I'm about to live.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I'm gonna eat $1 million worth of seafood. Is the plan. The first week I'm there. Maybe I shouldn't go that hard to start my comedy.
you probably would.
Everything you bought to wear might not.
Right.
Yeah,
Then you
might
just
not.
take it easy.
Yeah, just kind of
A piece of fruit back to my little cabin.
Yeah,
Right. There you
Keep
go.
it humble.
Last couple of days, get it in.
Then I
Right,
do
yeah.
right.
Handle your business,
Right.
Start tucking shit in a fucking blanket and like it's thrown over your something.
Right.
You ain't gonna eat this.
Suitcase
Nobody's eating
heavy as
snow
hell.
crab. It's mine now.
They didn't throw it away,
So that's dope. So you're definitely, we'll call you a young veteran.
I'm a young vet.
Yeah.
I know what I
Young
want
OG.
to do. I know what I'm here to do, and I haven't stopped. Like,
Right.
So I'm a person who loves the journey. It's been, coming from San Diego to LA so far. 2 hours. Such a long not even, but it is different though. They're two different worlds.
For real.
Oh no, that's real shit. Yeah. San Diego is night and day for me.
The air is clear right off the bat.
Please believe me.
Lord.
La Jolla, man.
No, we were talking about that.
Bro.
Dude, that's real.
Do y'all think they're spraying something in the LA air?
No, they're spraying something like all that goddamn exhaust from these cars.
I'm gonna tell you flat out. What you said, just real quick for reviewers listening on YouTube. I won't get too deep into this, but I read an article in the LA Times, and basically the punchline of it is, if you live within 1,000 feet of a freeway, you're gonna get cancer. You're fucked. So basically all of us, crammed in this area.
I ain't really got time for it. I've never been so sick in my life. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he came from Phoenix. I've been out here for a minute, but I'm from Michigan, so we're used to different climates. And he, you know what I mean? He says it. We were just talking about that.
The air is totally different.
Trying to kill us all.
I'm gasping for air.
It's not real.
I can't not take a full breath.
Right, exactly. But
we're here.
We're here. You're breathing.
We're not dead.
Yes. Not yet.
Reviewers, we're breathing in the air. We're breathing in the air of success.
That's right.
Yep.
And to that point, to where you've gotten in the game thus far, for anyone that hasn't seen you rock the stage and maybe seen a clip or set on YouTube or whatever it is, or on social media, what can people expect from, like, what is your style of delivery? What are things you like to talk about? That sort of thing. Your actual artiste side of being on stage.
Thank you for asking that.
Distinguished question.
Price is right.
Right? Good. You're so good at this.
Talk show, the Beanie Blue Show.
Hey.
Right?
It's coming.
For me, I would say to expect something different. I get this a lot of times. The feedback is like, wow, I didn't expect that. When, for whatever reason, people look at you and they have notions, which is fine. It's like, but
trust me, I know.
So for I would say, for whatever reason, a lot of people expect from a woman a lot of male bashing or a lot of dick and pussy jokes, or just not necessarily all the sides of the amazing voices we have as women. Right. It's like there's so much shit we could talk about. I'm not going to limit it to those experiences. And oddly enough, the first I would say 7 years, I never even talked about sex. I never talked about, I never cuss, and I do it in my regular life, but I was very like,
don't we all?
I just was like, I want to do something different. Like when I was watching women's stand-ups, I just was like, I couldn't tell if this was like, do we feel like we have to be a little dirtier? But it was part of it wasn't feeling organic.
That's real though, because you think about like Def Comedy Jam and all that, like when Samoa and all them was coming up like back in the day.
It was a little animated.
Yeah, it was like crazy. Motherfucker this and motherfucker that. Like,
and I love the voices. I think it was, it is important, and a lot of times these really are these people's voices, but it didn't really felt like, I feel like I have to do that.
Right.
And I noticed the trend though that the clean comedians were some of the best storytellers. So I'm like, okay.
True.
Sinbad is telling the shit out of the story. Bill Cosby is telling the shit out of the story,
Right.
And it's not to say that you can't be blue and tell stories. And that's like, that's where I am now, kind of that medium of like, okay, I don't have to be so afraid of either or. So it's like I can audition for Def Comedy Jam and feel comfortable, but I also can showcase for a clean cruise line and feel comfortable.
And that's a hell of a transition to have.
So it's like,
because there is that saying in comedy, fast and loud. If you want to get the laughs, that's how a lot of people, and you teed it up perfectly. That era, especially as a black woman trying to get into comedy, your idols or just people that came before you, let's keep it funky. A lot of it is kind of within the same genre in terms of style. It's talking about dudes. It's talking about white people are weird. It's like it's a lot of type of shit like that. But nowadays, and I want to get your opinion on this, you have people like Shaseer from SNL. You got people like Ron Funches. You have people like Hannibal Buress. You have people that are very much black comedians, but they're not quote unquote traditional black comedians. You know what I mean?
Which is like
Wayne Brady.
Comes,
right.
You know what I
but
mean?
your voice,
Right.
like you said, back to going back to on-stage expectations. Like when I get up there, they think I'm going to talk about some shit, and I talk about fucking selling drugs in Michigan, listening to DMX. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And it's like, it doesn't, but to the untrained audience, it's not my brand.
Right.
But when you actually know my personality, you feel, oh, that's actually authentic. He came from that place.
Right.
Whereas you could be talking about, hey, I got a group on and I'm with my friends and we're at brunch and I hate all these bitches. But it's a different perspective.
Right.
It's not the same old, like you said, talking about shit you've already heard, the same roads, and you know what I mean. So storytelling is dope. So what is your perspective on styles and where you kind of fit in that?
Well, I'm a writer, so like I went to school for. I mean, even how I ended up in LA was I'm an English major. So that I think that was always gonna kind of be a thing.
Right.
That
so you're used to pulling more stuff out of your topics. Yeah. So, that's your natural inclination.
Right. More content.
You can see like I'm not as high energy as a lot of other people, or my energy is different. It's a high energy, but it's not necessarily like I'm not physical.
Yeah, you're not animated.
I'm not very
physical.
But that's dope, because it's different.
Yeah, so
and it's your thing.
Finding like just that all these styles really have their own place. Like not one is really better than the other, but I think it's just really important to find what works for you.
100%.
And just stick with it. Like everyone's going to try to give you some advice. Like, oh, you got to do this type of material. You got to do this type. But I would say what I've learned, like, it's just best to do the material that you feel the most. And I can tell when somebody's doing material that they believe in.
Oh, yeah.
Versus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody can tell. The audience can tell as well. Like, you can tell somebody who's doing too much or somebody who's like really just up there letting it flow. To me, comedy is like rap. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's delivery is different. You have to have something that's true to you. If you're not doing something that's, I tell my son that, my 21-year-old son, shout out to Joe, he raps, and when he first started rapping, his delivery was kind of weird to me. I didn't want to be like nobody but himself, but he just had to work on his delivery because I saw where he was going with it, but he just needed to be better at it, right? So I'm imagining comedy is the same way, you know what I'm saying? Like you in the mirror doing your thing, like practicing, like you have to work on your delivery, you know what I'm saying? You have to come across and make it as organic as possible. You know what I mean?
That only comes though from like you have to be doing it and doing it consistently to find your voice. Like the first 3, maybe 4 years, I was confident on stage. I was making people laugh, but I didn't know my voice. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Young comedians can relate to that because we've been there where we've written something where we know we wrote it because we know we can make it funny.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily come from like, oh, that's really unique to me. You might just have a certain observation. You know how to craft it because you've been doing it enough, and you can make it funny. But then those are the bits that tend to fall off. Where if you're doing something more like a big show or you just want to focus on other stuff. To me, I don't know if you relate to this as a writer. That type of material, like you said, that isn't necessarily true to your voice. Right. Even though it might get laughs, you might slay the room, but you might hate it. Right. I've had that happen before. So I mean, have you kind of, as more from a writing perspective, have you kind of found that probably easier finding your voice too? I imagine, right? And
then too, I mean, like there's one thing that like when I look back even at old videos,
right?
My material,
your old hot sevens.
It goes with where I'm at in life. So like the first probably few years of my comedy is going to just be all jokes about me being a big girl in LA, me being single, me do all these things that like once those things shifted, those jokes just didn't work.
Dating in LA is crazy.
And I even lying to myself, like I didn't realize like, oh shit, like even body image is such a thing that like I spent most of my life every time I go to the doctor, like you're obese, like so it's like having that. It's like I don't notice the changes when I'm in the mirror. I really don't. Like clothes fit different, like it took time. So I'm up there like it's hard being. And I was just like, what are you talking? I'm like, where like this shit used to kill, or even like I noticed I can't do like as many jokes about big people anymore. Like that used to be my, but now it's like, oh, you're fat shaming. It's like, that's not fair to me. Like I was fat for like 27 years. The world is so damn politically correct now. It's not good for comedy. Like it's kind of like, this is why we do this shit. So that we don't have to follow the status quo or be politically correct.